digging a hole in China? Well, I just about did it. A few more feet and I would have made it. In case you didn't know, China is really far away. But when I was digging, instead of pulling out a scoop of dirt, I pulled out a lie. Small ones, but a lie is a lie is a lie. I told one after the other, and with each lie, I dug a little deeper. If you've ever dug a deep hole, you know when you're standing at the bottom, it's hard to get out. Halfway through last year, I told my first middle school lie. It was to myself. That first lie was my first shovelful. It started my hole. The lie did not mean much to me, even though I knew it had the potential to grow over time. Later that night, my mom asked me if I had any homework. I simply said no, and with that lie, dug my hole a little deeper. Still, it meant nothing to me. Even though my hole grew, I felt no repercussions, no guilt. Life went on the same as it had before. The following day, my teacher asked me if I had finished my math lesson. I replied yes, and again, as I lied, my hole grew. By now, my hole was deep enough for me to get in a little bit of trouble, but not much. The next day, and the next, and the next, this process was repeated. I would lie to myself, my mom, and then my teacher. Day after day, it continued. I knew I was guilty, but all I told myself was it's working, right now. I'm passing tests, I'm not getting caught, I was digging a deeper hole, but I was skating by. Several weeks later, I was in too deep to climb out. Rather than try to get out, I just dug deeper, deeper, and deeper. I told a couple of friends about my lies. Pretty soon, I had one friend because no one wanted to hang out with a liar. Even though I knew I should have just come clean, I did not. I also started to judge people. I came up with excuses to narrow my friends down. If I judged them before they judged me, it made me being a liar okay. I judged people by how they talked, if they used foul language or not, if they were considered cool. That they basically had to be perfect, and only my remaining friend was perfect, I would tell myself. I had no one left. They were all judged and condemned, and none of them met my expectations. I was judging a book by its cover to save my own reputation. By the end of the year, I was in such a deep hole, I did not know what to do. I dug as far as I could go. China lay inches below the surface. That day, I confessed. There was only one word going through my mind as I confessed: consequences. I'd been digging this hole for half a year, which meant that the consequences were going to be severe, really severe. I waited anxiously and all night, while my parents decided my fate. The next day, I took the blow. I could not go to Wild Horse. I stood still, stunned and silenced. While you were all at Wild Horse, having a blast, I sat in the classroom for the next 2 days. I came to school the next year, this year, knowing two things. One, I'd be going to Wild Horse this year. Two, I will work hard for it. I know I was still in a hole, a deep one. I decided I was going to have to dig myself out. I started the year off strong. I came in doing all my work and making sure things got done the right way. Gradually, I got out of the hole by building a strong foundation of honesty beneath me, securing a bright future ahead. I tried to make few mistakes along the way. I stopped judging people and realized there are going to be things that get in the way. There will be difference in how we speak, how we act, and how we are perceived. But that does not mean that someone's going to be a bad friend or a terrible person. They could actually be my new best friend. Since I've opened up and started really being who I am today, I'm becoming a better person than I've ever been before. I realized that I dug my hole too deep, way too deep. This year I got out of that hole. It was hard and I had to commit to honesty with myself and others. And I did it. I've been working hard to stay out of that hole. It's been hard, very hard, but I'm managing to make it through. And now that I'm finished digging, I believe I'm ready for life and the challenges that lie ahead. The next time I decide to go to China, I think I'll fly instead.